you guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time since we have been outside together. It is spring, or it's feeling like spring today anyways. We have had so much snow. We had snow yesterday, but it's pretty much gone now. And you can see the garden is all uncovered, no snow in the garden. So excited to get onions and stuff out there real soon. But today my mission is to get some other stuff ready, and that is what this video is about. I am going to tell you about what we are going to be doing now with our chicken setup. So let's go over and have a chat about that. All right, so this is our chicken coop, and as you can probably tell, it is halfway taken apart. So we have had chickens ever since we moved here. We've had chickens for many years, but our last batch of chickens that we raised from Tractor Supply is where we got our chicks from. We just were not happy with the flock that we had raised for a few reasons. We've gotten chicks from Tractor Supply, and then they have grown, and we realized that they were not the breed that they were supposed to be, or they were just, they weren't the greatest of health or the greatest looking or the greatest personality, things like that. So, but our last batch, for the most part, we've always had really friendly chickens who want to be around us, who will come to us for food and things like that, or we can hold them and stuff. And our last batch of chickens were just very not friendly at all. They would not eat from you. If you came in the run to feed them, they would run away. So I used to, pick bugs and stuff out of the garden and bring it over to the girls, and they would just run. They wouldn't eat it at all. They'd just run away. And so I couldn't even do that anymore. So we just weren't really happy with them, and they just weren't great layers, some of them. Anyways, so when they were last fall, they were a little over a year old at that time, we decided that we would just rehome the chickens and the guineas that we had, because we didn't have the garden fenced in yet, and they kept hopping over their fence and going into the garden and digging, and I was getting frustrated, and we didn't like the chickens anyways. So we just decided we wanted to go ahead and rehome them since they were young still. They were only a year old, and they had plenty of egg laying left to do. It turned out to be kind of funny because we got rid of these young hens right when all the crazy egg stuff started really happening. And now people, when I tell them that we got rid of our chickens, they can't believe it, because, how could we not have our own chickens right now? But we have been fine as far as eggs go, so purchasing them from others. So it hasn't been a big deal, but we want to get back into the chicken business. We love having chickens. We love having our own pastured eggs and things like that. So the reason that our coop is partially taken apart is because we wanted to relocate our chicken facility on our property. It's an okay place where it is now, but it is on a hill and it's all sun. So I'll show you guys that. We realized that the only shade right in this area for the chickens is underneath the coop, which I love this coop design because they can go underneath the coop, and I love that. They'll come out even when it's rainy, really raining, they'll go under the coop and things like that. So I love the style of coop, but under the coop was the main source of shade, and the barn, maybe 10 foot from the barn, that whole area would be in shade. But the rest of their pasture, they have a huge pasture, and we would even, since we don't have pigs anymore currently, we would let the chickens into the 2 pig pastures as well. So they had tons of room to free range out there. But they just never wanted to go unless it was a cloudy day or in the evenings or early mornings, stuff like that. They really hate being in the sun. So we thought maybe this isn't the right spot to have the coop, and maybe we could utilize this for other stuff like parking farm equipment or trailers and things of that nature, and make a lean-to off the edge of the barn to cover that. It does get really wet right here because of the slope of the hill coming down, and then the barn is right here. And also in the winter, snow will fall off the roof of the barn, and you get buildup right here between our old rabbit hutches and the coop. So we figured there's probably a better spot, and we did decide where we would rather have them. And it's a long story, so I try to just give you the short version. But so in the fall, we got rid of the chickens, we sold them. And we started having the kids take the coop apart for us when my husband was working. And our idea was that we would get it basically down to just the bare bones, the frame basically of the coop, and then we would be able to relocate it over to where we want, which is basically right behind you guys, way that way to our other woods, basically almost to our property line on the other side of the property. And that is a very woodsy area. It's not super duper dense with trees, but there is also brush in there that we would like kind of not there. Some little bit of brambles, lots of grapevine, things like that. So the woods are really nice for animals like chickens or pigs or goats or things like that, but not really great for much else as it is right now. And so we thought that would be the perfect place for our chickens. They would, when at our last property, we had a wooded backyard, and our chickens, when we would let them free range, they would go straight out to the woods. They loved it so much. So we thought that it would be great to just get our chickens back out into the woods. And so we were all excited and started to take it apart, but then it got winter and it got snowy and it got cold and everything froze, and we kind of abandoned that project for the time being. Now it is early spring. Like I said, we've had snow on the ground up until yesterday. It finally, yesterday got sunny, and the last of the snow melted for now. And it's still pretty cold out here. It's in the 40s, I think, today, and overcast. But hopefully we're gonna be seeing it warm up in the next couple weeks. So we have this coop that we need to decide, are we just going to put this back together and keep our chickens over here, or are we gonna make a mad dash to take this apart and relocate it and put up new fencing and all of that in a time frame, because we ordered new chickens. So excited to let you guys know. We ordered a new batch of chickens. I am very excited. It's going to be such a cool journey, and I hope that you guys will join me for that. We are starting with a new breed that we've never had, and I'm sure that you have heard of them because there has been a little bit of a craze probably a couple years ago and things. There's been a little bit of a craze going on about the American breasts, and that is what we finally decided to jump in and get. We really want to try them out. We're wanting something more self-sustaining, something that when crazy stuff is happening in this world, when people are overreaching their authority and trying to tell the people what they can and cannot do and what they can and cannot have, and making things for people like us more difficult, I want to know that I can raise my own chickens. I can have an unlimited supply of new chicks that I can raise, hatch and raise myself, and we can have both a large number of eggs fresh all the time, and we can grow our own meat. We have had lots of different breeds of chickens, like most of them. We've had tons of different breeds of chickens. We have our favorites for different reasons. You know, some for productivity and their egg laying abilities, and some for just their temperament and things like that. Some for just their beauty and things like that. So there's a lot of aspects to chickens that you can like. But as far as, we've always got breeds that they claim are dual purpose breeds, mostly because we want larger birds because we live in a cold northern climate and we do not heat our coop. So we're wanting chickens that'll be hardy for winter and that kind of thing. So we have always got the supposed dual purpose birds, but let me tell you, they really, as far as I'm concerned, are not dual purpose. They are not good for meat. They're good for bone broth and eggs. So is well, I've for the majority of our laying hens, when we have butchered them, they're just too small to bother with. As far as trying to cook the chicken into a meal or deboning them is absolutely a no, it's not gonna work. So unless you're feeding like just 1 or 2 people, if I was feeding the whole family, there's no way one laying hen would be enough to serve our family. So I definitely haven't ever had a breed yet that I thought was truly dual purpose. So I am excited to try out the American Breast. I know that it is a lot to do with genetics, if you get good birds, good stock, and also the way that you raise them and their diet and how much exercise they're getting and all these things. I know that there's so much to it, so I'm excited to experiment with it and try things out and see how it goes. So hopefully you guys subscribe and like and turn on your bell notifications because we will have lots of American Breast videos to come. I'm going to go out right now. It's been I think 2 years since, yeah, it's been 2 years, I believe, since we raised chicks. So I have to go and dig out what we use for our brooder from the barn. It is covered in spiders and dust and stuff. So I have my gloves. I'm going to go and dig our brooder out of the barn. It's full of random fencing and stuff and yucky. And I have to try and find all of my supplies. We have a heat plate and the feeders and waters and all of that stuff. So I'm gonna go and look for all of that stuff and start cleaning it and getting it set up for our new chicks. This is our first time ordering chicks from a hatchery. We have every single time just went to the feed store and got chicks from either Tractor Supply, Family Farmer Home, or Murdoch's, places like that is where we've always got our chicks. We've never ordered from a legit hatchery, just direct. So I'm a little bit like worried, excited. I can't wait. So I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but I'm going to take you guys along so that in case you've never done it before, hopefully that gives you some more idea and helps to make you feel a little bit better about the whole process. But the birds that we ordered are in Mississippi and we are in Michigan, so they have a little bit of a ways to go, but they are going to be express shipped, so they shouldn't be too long in the mail, which sounds absolutely terrifying. But I will get them and I will take so good care of them. Hopefully we don't lose any and it will just be perfect. The birds that we got are straight run, so hopefully we get lots of hens and few roosters. But fingers crossed, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think that that's everything that I wanted to cover with you guys for right now. I wanted to just tell you about the awesome stuff to come and show you our wreck of a coop. And what do you guys think? Would you keep your coop just where it's at, keep the fencing and all the structure the way it is, and just hope that the new birds will like it more in the sun? Or would you go ahead and do all the work, take the time, pay for new fencing and all the stuff to get new set up and move your coop to a better, shadier, probably more enjoyable location? Let me know in the comments and maybe that will help my husband and I decide. We have been in the middle of remodeling our house. We finally finished our kitchen remodel and we are nearing the end of our bathroom remodel. We have gutted it down to the studs and redone all the plumbing, all the electrical. insulation, new windows, new tubs, sinks, vanities, toilet, every single thing in our bathroom is new, and we are nearing the end. I just finished the last coat of mudding the drywall today. So we have to try and finish that up, and I don't know how long it'll be till our new chicks arrive. And then of course they'll be in the brooder, which will be in our house for a little while. And then once it's warm enough, we'll be able to put them out in the coop, and just usually what we do is we bring them out as long as it's warm enough at night and they're big enough to not need a heat lamp and things like that. We'll normally keep them in the coop. It's really big and open and nice, and they're able to stretch their legs more than being in the brooder and perch and things like that, and just explore while we just keep them. We usually keep them locked in the coop still for a while after we put them in there when we don't have other chickens. So that works out really, really well. But I will take you guys on that journey as it comes and totally keep you guys in the loop and share everything that I can with you. I have a lot of experience with chickens and we really enjoy them. So if you are looking for that kind of information, don't forget to subscribe. And I'm gonna go ahead and get all this brooder stuff ready, and I will have a video up soon showing you our brooder and all the setup that we have for that, as well as taking you through the actual our chicks arriving and what that process looks like, what the chicks look like when they get here, and putting them in the brooder and all of that. So I will see you guys soon. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I hope you guys are too, and we will see you soon. Thank you guys for stopping by, and have a wonderful day.